Hi there. Hope you're all having a good day. This is my first real stream, like in a hot minute. Um, so if you, oh, that's a spoiler. If you have any like critiques on it, more than happy to accommodate. I think today what we're gonna do is we're gonna doodle a little bit. But yeah, I personally love doing like line art. It's just like soothing and it's good to do on stream because sketching is like way harder to be honest on stream. Um, but yeah. Hi, Funk. How are you? It's good to see you in here. I hope my mic is okay. I just started up the stream like a few minutes ago. You know it, literally. I'm just drawing Kara from Undertale right now. Um yeah, I think it's going to be for a video, but I'm not too sure. Either way, I'm starting to really grow attached to it. So, rights. Absolutely, Funk. But yeah, I wanted to do the Undertale video like sooner, but I like Kara. I love Kara. I literally adore them. I was thinking about making a video on like the mischaracterization of Undertale, my favorite Undertale character, Kara, but I think that's a little bit too niche because like my videos are trying to be like kind of for everyone and accessible, you know what I mean? If my dad can understand it, then we're good, basically. And I don't know. I want to find a medium between like um, interesting topics and did Asker do. Oh, you're gonna get cooked for that. Oh no. Oh no. They're gonna cook you, Funk. They're gonna. Oh, that's so funny. Because in the Undertale fandom, it's like really. Asgore is so controversial. The answer is yes. Yeah. He did do a lot of things wrong, but consider he's my Scrimblio. Consider that, Funk. Because yeah, it's Undertale is like such a the fandom is a bit divisive, like and more than usual in my opinion because like there's not a lot of like content continually coming out, so people kind of get brainworms. Oh, I saw that comment and I'm like, I don't think I can comment on that. I yeah, I have no idea. I think Asgore is I feel like he could have been fleshed out more if I'm being quite real. If I'm being really real, but you know, Goatler. Okay. But I feel like he could have been fleshed out more because he doesn't get a lot of screen time. There's more screen time of people talking about him more than there is like of him on the screen, which might have been the point. Yet, I don't think it works exactly. He's a good character in theory. And I'm such a hypocrite because I love Kara and they're barely in canon. Yeah, I completely agree. I think they're gonna Undertale 2. Dude, they're gonna cook you. I think to be honest, like yeah, I think Undertale Deltarune is going to really go into Asgore more because I feel like yeah, I completely agree. He is kind of flat in the game, but also like I get it. Like you're almost done with the project and at that point you're like, all right, we got to have him here, I guess. Yeah. I felt like yeah, I feel like Asgore was a little bit like when I try to finish something and I kind of rush through the end. So, like, if that makes any sense, I feel like Asgore was left for the end um, of the process. I could be wrong. I don't know Toby. I don't know Mr. Fox. But, you know, I have a suspicion on that. But I do love Kara. I think like they're so I say this word a lot, but divisive in my opinion, that I think you can interpret a lot from them. Um, because like, are they part of the narrative? Are they like narrator Kara? And I'm like, yes, but some people don't see it that way, and that's all right. I'm vibing with that. Hi, how you doing, Casabas? I was just talking about Undertale, but yeah. So first stream in a very long time. If you would like to like it, that's awesome. But TLDR for people who did not, who just came in. Good. I'm doing well. Tamika is the crow. That's good. Yeah. I'm good. I'm just drawing Kara from Undertale, my demon child whomst I love, whomst did nothing wrong. But oh yeah, I completely agree. I feel like with Undertale, it's so easy to like lol. Yeah. I feel like with Undertale, it's so easy for fandoms to kind of like um compartmentalize and like kind of stereotype some of the characters, like Sans. Need I say more? But like I think it's really interesting when a character like Kara, who can't really be defined a lot, comes into the narrative because nobody can really agree on anything with them. Um, I'm Sans. Honestly, Funk, honestly, you are kind of like Sans. I'm not even gonna lie. I have made that comparison in my head to you, but I've never said it because I didn't know. I don't know how. I didn't even know you liked Undertale. I'm gonna be real. It's I want to make a video on it, but like I don't know. I feel like that's a lot to chew off. For like I'm funny, I'm chill, I have powers. I wish that were me. Okay, I think Kara has like red hair. But yeah, I've wanted to like do an Undertale video for 10 years. What are you and are you yeah. I've wanted to do an Undertale video for so fucking long, but like I don't know, it's so intimidating because for one, the fandom is like super the fandom is like super a little bit hostile sometimes to like analysis videos, and I want to take a lot of time in making it, like cuz it means so much to me. But oh, 3 likes. Thank you guys. Thanks you guys. But at any rate, yeah, I mean, I don't know. With Undertale, it's really hard because I love so much of it, but I won't watch the pacifist route on stream because I'm a pussy. Well, yeah, okay, so I I personally well, like a lot of like theories are torn down. For people who are just listening, Funk asked, "In what way are the Undertale fandom hostile?" I haven't seen them in my analysis, and I'm like, "Ooh, you know what I mean?" Because I think every fandom, to some extent, has issues, of course. I think that Undertale is just genuinely, it's been around forever, that with like little new content, that like the fandom kind of goes two ways, right? It's the people who are going strictly canon, they're never deviating from the source material. I like that one color. They are never it's like they aren't really, if you say something that's not like technically true or canon, even if it's like, hmm? Oh yeah, Casabas. Thank you. I'm sorry if this isn't accessible for you. But yeah, I guess with like fandom, I really try not to step on any toes, and this goes for any fandom, really. I think that like the longer a fandom has to cook without like sustenance, without creator sustenance of the creation, it kind of goes a little weird. It kind of goes a little wonky. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. And let me know if the mic is too high or the music is off, apparently. Oh no. I was playing Undertale music. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I think I turned that off somehow. Let me know if that's good. Anyways, but yeah, I think the more fandom has to cook, the more like hiatus brain rot seeps in. So it's a wonder tale that no one noticed before this. I got this notion from the okay, Funk. But I got this like idea from Steven Universe fandom, to be honest. I may make a video on it because that's a really good idea. But like the way fandoms react when there's such long hiatuses, you know what I mean? It's such an interesting kind of phenomena because the theories get so much wackier. The kind of discussions become a little bit more like, oh, I've seen this mischaracterization so much and I'm fucking pissed at it. Sorry, I swear in streams. Hope that's alright. But, and then the more mischaracterization there is in the earlier fandom, the more people like kind of lash out later on in the hiatus. If that makes any sense. Because I think on the whole, Undertale is cool. The fandom, I mean, I love, adore the actual game. But I do see some worrying tendencies, especially about, like, boundaries with Toby Fox. I think there could be more boundaries with between the fandom and Toby Fox. Because, like, sometimes I feel like, especially when I was on Twitter, I felt like some people thought they knew Toby Fox. And that's an interesting concept of like parasociality, but with a content creator that says nothing. And I'm not trying to like bash any specific person, but it's just really interesting that that people will take this guy that like doesn't really say much and interpret him like a character. That's interesting. This will look better, I promise. I pinky promise. Yeah, I've heard Neil Cicerega also has like that kind of fandom. I remember that one clip of him going like, I am not your friend. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry if you hear football screaming in the background. But I remember Neil Cicerega, who was just like, I am not your friend. I am just a guy. And I was like, TBH, that's really cool. Because I really respect content creators in general that don't he said, I am not a toy on stream once where they were asking him to do dances? That's gross. That's really, he's not Germa, guys. Plus, like, I think if I'm not wrong, Germa like wants to do that. Like, if you're a creator and you want to like put on a performance, cool. But if you didn't ask for that, that's really gross. He's not Germa. No, from my knowledge, like Germa, like allows that. I don't know anything about Germa. He's kind of scary to me. I'm saying that guy's not Germa. Oh my god. Yeah. I know nothing about Germa. He kind of scares me, I'm not gonna lie. Because like I don't know. I've seen the way his fans act about him and I'm like, wow, I would need therapy. I would, well, you know, more. Because I don't know. I get like he's doing a character though, and that's completely fair. He should scare you. He killed millions. Yeah, so true, dude. 1 second. But yeah. It's like, I don't know. I think that like creator fan dynamics I want to go into sometime. I think that, no, that's ugly. Yeah, I think there are definitely layers to parasocial engagement. I agree. And I also think that sometimes the creators kind of, how do I say this? Feed into it. Like, there's the scale of like Toby Fox, who does not feed into any parasocial, from what I'm aware. The man does not even post. But then there's also like, there's also people, and this might be random, but there's also people who are like James Charles, where they actively like feed into the parasociality, and for dangerous things, but I don't think necessarily it's always that extreme. Aw, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. It was nice seeing you. But yeah, as I was saying to myself, Kara really said, yeah. But yeah, I think there are layers to parasociality because, like, there are layers to almost everything, in my opinion. Like, there are, like, an onion. Guys, come pick me up. But at the end of the day, I think that, like, a little like a little like, hey, I really appreciate you guys, or something like that doesn't kill anyone. But I also think that you have to have boundaries with the people that love your work. I think I'm gonna change the hair. GBH. There we go. Perfect. Yeah, I think I'm gonna shade this. I quite like it so far. I think gonna do some experimental shading. Oh wait, what? That's not right. Okay, almost done merging the layers. Yes, I do like to merge my layers. That's what's happening. Okay. And maybe some blue shadows. Okay. There we go. I really like Clip Studio Paint, by the way. I do all my illustrations in CSP because I don't like Photoshop at all. But I use Adobe Premiere Pro, which sucks, and I don't like it. Okay, and then maybe I'm gonna do like a bit of a red tint. No, that doesn't look good. Okay, that looks better. Sorry, I'm a soda. Oh, sure. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't worry. Nobody is like, nobody's, yeah. Nobody's like, owed like a conversation. Don't worry about it. No worries. Either way, I'm just chilling, kind of listening to music. Hopefully. It should be in the background, I hope. Hold up, I'm reading. Oh yeah. Okay. Let me read that real quick. Oh, no worries. Typos are fine. Um. Yeah, so with art tutorials, I think like that's really hard because art truly is subjective, but at the same time, it's like what you want to do with your art that matters for improvement. I think overall, like saying, oh, you should never draw like this, it excludes a lot of like that is inevitably going to exclude a lot of like cultures basically, because if I say, oh, you should always do shadows or paint, it's gonna exclude some like time periods or cultures or movements that like really did like flat shading. But I think if you're like, this is how I do it, if you want to copy me, sure. I think that's fine. Like, I think it's arrogant to assume that you are the end result, I think. And I've been to art school, art high school, but still. And it's really interesting because once you get out of that, it's like, oh, this actually is subjective. Because in art school, you're kind of like, you always have to like go for realism, I feel like. And that's not true all the time, but I feel like that kind of seeps into academia. And because of that, online spaces can sometimes get like super super pretentious about like art tutorials. Like, this is how you should do it. Like, I genuinely do like some of Lavender Town's videos. I don't like the thumbnails for those videos though, like of the do this not that thing. And I'm not taking shots at her, you know, clickbait is part of the deal, but she at least like she at least very much says up front, hey, you the clickbait is not like true. You know what I mean? I think that's very important because like otherwise you're kind of stunting your audience, in my opinion. Um, if that makes any sense. because like there's no one way to draw really, but it's what you want. Rather, and if what you want is to kind of take pointers from another artist, that's completely fair. But I don't know. I also think like the stealing art style thing is so dumb. That's a hot take though. That they're gonna crucify me for that one. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, but I think like in general we all should learn from each other, but at the same time like don't act like you know better, you know what I mean? Oh yeah. No worries, no worries, no worries. Yeah, because I love questions like that because they're really interesting to think about, like what is the right way to do art. And I have my own opinions on what is the right way to do art for me. Because I think everyone does. Like everyone at least has somewhat of a grasp of like I want X, Y, and Z. Because that's part of being an artist, you know what I mean? That being said, I'm not going to really go up to anyone online especially and be like, actually, you should not draw like that. Especially online. Like in a classroom setting, I think it's much different. I do, because first of all, you're asking for guidance from industry professionals and like people who have been taught how to do this. That being said, you can push back on it. Like if you're like, "Hey, I don't really think that would work because of X, Y, and Z." And I think it's very much different online. Because yeah, I think online you don't know anyone's intent, because sometimes people online just want to act a bit smarter, but that's not a teacher's job. A teacher's job solely is to help you. And I don't want to sound like pretentious or whatever, but it's much different getting advice from a teacher who knows how to package it and how to like cater their advice to you because they know you. That's an important part too. But I also think that like criticism is good, but like especially online where it's like PvP enabled, like it's basically a diary with fighting game, you know what I mean? It's a bit hard to discern tone, discern intent. So I ask for critique from my friends a lot. And they give it both praise and criticism. But I don't really ask it online, and that's not because I don't think that people online can't like don't know what they're doing. I think there's massively great artists online, but I also think that like my friends know what I'm going for. And they want to help me come to like the end point of that, I think, or at least further along in my artistic journey. When a stranger like online maybe isn't going to like know that. You feel me? Yeah, that was a huge ramble, but I have a lot of feelings on like art feedback online. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. I have a lot of feelings on like art feedback online because it's such like a tricky subject really. Because like art is such it really is, how do I say this? And strangers wouldn't know since they're going to go with them. That is true. Pitta Saint, very true, because strangers usually are going to cater it to their own tastes. I completely agree. Um, yeah, because you're going to be torn in a lot of directions if you always take criticism to heart from strangers. When, if you're taking it in a classroom setting, students have time to like kind of bounce off of each other and be like, hey, would this work? Oh, I don't think it would work for X, Y, and Z reason. Or what are you going for in this piece? Like, what is your intent? And I think that's really valuable. I feel like I'm doing a PSA for college. I promise I'm not. But like genuinely, I think that if you're taking criticism, you need to learn how to decipher what you want from what you don't want in criticism. Hold up, I gotta take some water. But yeah, I was just yapping. But yeah, I think that being pulled in so many directions is a very good point. Because for me, it's like I had to really realize I was looking on online sites too much and being like, well, I want cartoony, but realistic, but anime, but also X, Y, and Z. And that's really tricky, to be honest, to look on, like, for inspiration that much. Because, like, I don't want to be like, don't look for inspiration, but look for inspiration very purposefully. Because if you spread out, if you just go on Pinterest and you're like going through all these photos, it's kind of like overwhelming, I think, personally, at least. Because Pinterest and all these like video sharing sites, or all these image sites like Pinterest, are going to show you a lot of different styles. That's not necessarily bad or harmful, but you kind of have to learn how to choose what you do like from what you think you don't like. You feel me? And then cater your own style to that. Yeah, I completely agree. I'm all for like style inconsistency. I think exploring is really good. I love like branching out at times. That being said, I also think it's really important to have kind of like a base level understanding of what you do and what you don't like. And then kind of hone it down from there, because I just think like, again, like it's what you want. Like if you would like to be like free flowing and entirely like picking and choosing what you want, I can't stop you, and I think that's wonderful. That being said, my personal advice is to probably hone it down a little bit at least. Explore in the beginning, of course. Like, I think everyone should take the time to, like, do 40 different art styles. But I also think that it's worthy trying to, like, hone it down, like you said. But yeah. I think art styles are such a unique thing. I love how it portrays the artist's like world. Like with my art style, for instance, like I am very frequently told I'm kind of like a poppy person, which is interesting. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Because it's, some people don't like pop, but my art really reflects that, because it's not like taking itself so seriously. It's really trying to like reflect myself, which I think is a good goal, like genuinely. I kind of modeled my art style after my own personality and what I want to achieve, really. I want to be kind of like free flowing, bright, colorful, and that's why I do it. I wouldn't really go for a darker style, I don't think. Like, this is probably the darkest I'm gonna go, I'm gonna be real. Um, because, like, I don't know, it's just really, it's just really natural after a while to pick and choose. Like, it becomes a skill. Um, like, understanding and having the vocabulary to be like, okay, I think I think I could do better on shading, or I think I could add more values. Like, picking out, not being your biggest critic, but being your most conscious one. But yeah. Yeah, definitely. I hope that answers your question. That was a very lengthy answer, but you're not here for short and quick yes or no questions. Um, yeah, definitely. I think art styles are very interesting. I can, like, you can't tell a lot about an artist from their art style, I don't think. But if you're truly pouring your heart into it, I think it should say something about you. About what you, like, are drawn to. Probably, speaking of, I'm probably gonna brighten this up, honestly. No. I think trying to, like, pin down, I think an overlay would be fine. I think trying to pin down my own style was really hard because I wanted to be everything. I really, like, in online spheres, it's so easy to, like, replicate. And, you know, I'm not against that at all. But I think there has to be a time and place where you're like, ooh, that's interesting. Oh, literally. Uh, there has to be a time and place where you're like, okay, let's settle down. Let's figure this shit out. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna start rendering. Rendering time. Man, I haven't done like a full illustration in so long. It has been very long. Mostly I've just been working on videos, which has been really fun, but it's nice to like actually render something that I'm proud of. And this has been like a nice warm up. Um yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna throw out something, a hot take, if you will. I don't really think art style theft exists. At least not negatively. Like, it's alright if you disagree. Like, it's not make or break. We're not talking about, like, human rights or whatever. I really, it's okay. But, like, I feel like people treat it like it's impersonation. And that is very different and very much, I think, illegal. Because I don't know, because I think we put a lot of ourselves into art, like I was saying, but also, I don't know, like, artists have always taken inspiration from each other. Artists have always, like, really flown off on each other. Like, I dislike when people are trying to be like, oh, this style is mine. Like, how arrogant is that? Sorry. Or even like this style is like trademarked. Yeah. Yeah, I think actual I think actual impersonation is bad. Like don't get me wrong. If you are it's okay to be inspired, but I think at the end of the day it's a bit weird if you're trying to be them, which I know like is an issue within the art community of like stalking and stuff. Completely get it. Um I also think that one time I saw like on twitter.edu, I saw this one call out and I was like, huh. Because it was like, this person has been stealing my style and I'm sick of it, so here's a call out. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for the mess. I'm sorry, I'm here for the mess, but I don't exactly know what to make of this. And basically, this person who made this very long call out Google Doc, like, they chronicled this person's art for like years. And it was really creepy. I'm not gonna lie. And I looked at the person and I'm like, you are way out of line. Like, you are more out of line than the other person ever was. Even if, yes, they stole some compositions, I I really think it's weird and disturbing, to be honest, to catalog 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 people's like life, only to be like, yeah, they stole a composition, and I'm like, all right, man, sure. Even if they did, like, I just don't think it's worth stalking, to be honest. I don't know. I don't know. Because, like, I mean, it depends on the situation, I think, too. I understand that stalking is a huge issue in online spaces. I've been scared of it, and I've never gotten stalked. So, like, impersonation is huge, like, especially for scams. Completely understand it. Um, I've gotten, like, scammed, like, not scammed, but, like, a artist didn't really, like, deliver on the work they promised, and now I'm, like, trying to get a refund, to be honest. Ooh, this hair looks nice. Yes. Um, and I think the area between a scam and someone who is just going through hard times and can't really deliver is kind of thin. Sometimes. I mean, it depends, but I think on the whole, I try to be good faith. Yes, I completely agree. I think stalking is a larger issue than online spaces give it credit for. Because I think, like, okay, if your call out, and I know there may be someone who disagrees, and that's all right, but if your call out spans years and is more than 70 pages, I would be concerned. Because, like, if, I don't know, like, I feel just icky about people who like take so many screenshots and for years on end to release a document. I'm just like, I think that's not normal. I don't know. I'm not trying to like be anti like call out culture. No, I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to blame the youths. The youth people. Since I'm 22, I am the youth. But I also think that it's a large problem of like people um trying to, and like if it's really bad and the person genuinely is like a predator or someone who like needs to be deplatformed, you know, I think that is a different situation than some petty drama, to be honest. Um, if that makes sense. Thank you for 4 likes, guys. I appreciate that. Yes, I agree. I completely agree. Like, I once was I once was sent a call out of like a person I followed, didn't really interact, but I followed them. And the call out was 80 pages long. And I got about halfway I got about 10 pages in, which is a feat because I am a full-time college student. And I was like, guys, I think you have to take this out in DMs. I think you have to take this out in messages. Like, I do not want to be in the middle of this. I feel like really sending people your call out, like, depending on the situation, I don't know. Because some situations genuinely are harmful, and I don't discredit that. I just feel like there has to be like kind of moderation, I guess. If that makes sense. I wouldn't know how that would happen. I love this hair. It's great. Sorry. But like, I don't know. I feel free to disagree, by the way. Like, I really am always open to new perspectives, especially on nuanced subjects like this, where it's kind of like I'm a little unsteady in my footing because I have never like been a part of like a call out like that, I guess. It's just sometimes I see them and I'm like, guys, you really should have taken this to private messages. I'm sorry. I feel like sometimes things can Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I feel like serious stuff only because if you're gonna put like, and especially like if the person actually is a danger, don't put petty drama in the middle of it. Like, if they were rude in a Discord server, I don't want to know about that. I want, if the person is dangerous, I would like to know. But like, I just don't get it. You're burying the lead. The lead. You know what I mean? I feel like, and I'm not trying to like discredit any victims. I believe first. I really don't. I really don't believe in like the bullshit of. Yeah, I agree. I really don't believe in the bullshit of like if it's that bad, go to like the police. I genuinely, because I have a lot of opinions on that. Because some people are disenfranchised, some people, it would be a danger to go to the police for them. But I do think that occasionally I see a call out and I'm like, guys, we should not have made this public. You know what I mean? Because like, I don't know, I'm very like chill, I guess. I used to get into a lot of like fights online and I just don't anymore. I don't have the bandwidth. I really don't, because I sometimes like, sometimes people try to pick fights with me and I'm like, I step back. I say to myself, I don't know this person. Am I ever going to change their mind? And then the answer is always no. The answer is always no. Because online comment sections are a losing game. They are almost always a losing game. And if you see me in my comment section politely replying to people who disagree with me, I don't want to hear about it. Because that's a joke. That's fully a joke. But yeah. I'm liking how this looks so far, though. I'm liking the blue. But anyways. Yeah, I mean, I really live and let live, I feel like, is my motto sometimes. Yeah, because, like, I'm very lay low. I used to be very, like, I'm going to get into constant fights, but I am 22 years old. I cannot be doing that anymore. Not to, like, sound like ancient, but seriously. Okay, I think her forehead is gonna... Yeah, I mean, I think that goes hand in hand with, like, fandom culture. I used to be really, I still am, but I used to be really into, like, the Steven Universe fandom. And it was not pretty. Like, I was talking about hiatus brain earlier and how, like, a hiatus can really change a fandom's dynamic and, like, how they interact with each other. And sometimes it's just, like, gets people meaner, to be honest. Maybe I'm too tender-hearted. But I feel like when people don't have something to chew on, I guess they get, like, aggravated. Because, like, they're like, you're misinterpreting my favorite character. I need to do something terrible. Like, alright. But it's also just, like, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling. But I think at the end of the day, it's not really worth it. Because I get, like, really bothered by, like, people trying to pick a fight with me. And my first instinct, I think a lot of people's first instinct is like, hey, what are you talking about? Like, go away. Or trying to pick a fight back. And over the years, I've really learned how to be like, okay, let's tone it back. Unless it's an actual fight I want to do. I agree. I agree. That's a really good point. You have some smart thoughts. I completely agree because I'm like, there's a lot of... Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to tear down. It's much easier to tear down something. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. That, we live in an age that's so fast, I think, that, like, I don't know, it's just, I think that's part of it. Like, people get so agitated with each other because they're not getting their media, like, immediately. You know what I mean? And I think there is a type of entitlement to that, definitely. Because I think genuinely, it's kind of hard because I know I'm not, like, a big YouTuber, like, at all. But like, I really want to create stuff for my channel, and recently I've been like, okay, I want to take it slower. I want to be, like, more methodical in my approach to video creation, basically. But yeah. I think, like, taking it slow is so important for any creator, at least sometime in your life. Like, you know what I mean? I agree. Yeah, definitely. You should be on the stream. No, I'm joking. But yeah, I think that's a good point because there's so much media out there, and I feel like our attention spans are so much, like, smaller, to be honest. Not to be a boomer. Not to be a boomer, guys. Guys, trust me. But help. But seriously, like, I feel like our attention spans, especially with the content we consume, have made us a little bit more entitled to, like, oh, but I've always had content right at my fingertips. Why aren't you immediately delivering? That's the question. And it's like, that's not how anything works. And of course, like, no one is being like mean to me about like, oh, you haven't set out a video yet in 2 days. But I felt like that pressure really to set out more videos, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking about like burnout, because I'm 2 videos old. I'm just a little baby. But I am talking about like, it's the expectation I set up for myself of like, oh, I really want to get faster at this, but at the end of the day, I want to make good videos, and sometimes you have to take more time on those. Most of the time, actually. But yeah, I think that like, I don't know, people have been really nice in my comment section about like my videos, and that's been really cool because I just launched this channel, which is cool, but I think at the end of the day, if I'm ever gonna like... Oh, thank you. Yeah. I mean, with that video, I'm not as proud of it. I asked for some critiques from a friend, and to be honest, like, I think I could do a lot better on my next one. And that's my coping mechanism of like, yeah, I think that video was good, but not great. And I think the first one was really great. But that's because I spent like a lot more time on it. And I think that taught me a valuable lesson, you know what I mean? About like, okay, you need to spend more time on it, not just more effort. Because like more time is going to allow you to take a step back and be like, okay, what can I do better? You know what I mean? Like I put the same amount of effort into it, but a very small amount of time, which I think matters a lot. I gotta have some water, 1 sec. But yeah. Yeah, of course, time always helps you. Yeah, seeing it in a different light is really good. Like, I genuinely believe that you should come back to a project the day after you want to post it. Because, like, usually you want to make some adjustments. And sometimes, like, you have to say, okay, this is done, I'm not fiddling with it anymore. But I don't find I have that issue. I have more of the issue of like, oh my gosh, I've been working on this so long, I'm proud of it, I just want it to be out. And while that is valid, it doesn't really help with making a good video essay. You know what I mean? Like rushing it because you just want it done. Yeah, I think that like feeling of like I just want to post this, like I have to really rein that in. Which like my friend did tell me, and that is what I'm talking about. When I talk about like constructive criticism from people you love, like really matters. Hold up, I'm gonna take more water. I've been yapping. I am really liking this face. I don't know what I smoked to to do this face. Nothing, but I am stone cold sober doing this illustration. But at any rate, yeah, I think that like I agree. Yeah. I like it's like logically I know I need time, but it's kind of hard when I'm an impulsive person. And like recently I've been yeah, so finishing it earlier, it didn't I liked it. Again, I really like the video. I think you should watch it. But like I think I could have done a lot better, especially with the writing, and I think the pacing was a little bit too fast. But overall, I'm glad I did it and learned that lesson of like, hey, slow down. Because like I think we're all slightly addicted to numbers. I really do. But I feel like I need to rein that back in of like, okay, I need to find this appreciation in myself rather than looking for external validation. And that's really easy to say and not so easy to do. Yeah, I think like I don't know. Like I know I'm being down on the video, but I don't know. I think like I'm feeling some growing pains. It's so hard, it's not even funny. Yeah. Like I feel like I'm feeling just some growing pains of like, okay, I'm not like as good as what I want to be yet, and I just have to for the time being make peace with that, for lack of a better term, and be like, okay, so what can I do to tangibly improve? And so what I did was I'm in a couple servers of like some YouTubers that while they don't have like millions of subscribers, they are genuinely my inspiration. And a couple of them liked my first video, so I reached out to a couple of them like, hey, would it be okay if like I paid you for some editing, maybe, perhaps? And they were super sweet about it, and one was like, no, just do me some channel art, and that's cool. And that was Fort Collins Productions, and I am so excited because like yeah. Okay, let me read that. A good point on cringe, and someone is. Yeah, I agree. Like, I made a couple of good points. Like, I think the video, especially like the message on cringe, as like not cringe is not inherently constructive, but it can like lead if you think about it and if you stop and you're like, okay, what's going on here? Like, why am I feeling like this? Which I think people should do anyways. People should probably like say, why am I feeling this? What's this coming from? A lot more than they do. Which that's like therapy speak, but still. Water time. But yeah, I think generally, it's always like really interesting talking to like more established YouTubers. Yeah, I think genuinely, yeah. Because like, yeah, I think genuinely identifying your feelings is so important. Like, kids should be taught that more. Emotional regulation is incredibly important. Because like step 1, hey, what am I feeling? Step 2, oh, I didn't know I'd get this far. My bad. But like seriously, I think like identifying what you're feeling is and why you're feeling it, genuinely, it needs to be a life skill. Because otherwise you're just gonna go around and kind of like not understand where you're coming from, I guess. This is a fandom channel, I remember. Ooh, I really like this illustration though. Chat disconnected. Oh, did the chat disconnect? Okay, we're good. Okay, the chat disconnected for me, but we're good. But, at any rate, I think, like, that matters so much in fandom, too. Of, like, this gives me the ick. Chat reconnect or else. Literally. Literally. But I feel like that really matters in fandom. Like, I feel like a lot of people would benefit from, like, saying, okay, I have a bad feeling about this, but is it the other person's fault? You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's legitimately not the other person's fault, you know what I mean? Like, you're just getting the ick. But I also feel like it's important to acknowledge, like, I'm having this kind of response. Even if it's just like, ew, whatever. You know what I mean? Because, I don't know. I feel like people go into, like, conversations with like, this sense of my feelings matter more than, yours. I feel like that could have been said more eloquently, but, you know. I'm really liking how I kind of, like, separated these colors from cool to dark. I love the multiply layer. Multiply layer, my beloved. Oh, let me see. Let me read real quick. Okay. It's because they place themselves on a more important, and while normally it's fine, it's not fine when it's used about it. Yeah, I think placing yourself as important is really good in a bubble. Because, like, I'm all for self-confidence. I'm all for, like, believing in yourself. Like, genuinely, I'm not trying to, like, be corny or whatever, but I also feel like you have to take other people's, like, situations into mind, and you kind of have to look at the world in a way that's, like, less, I don't know, individualistic than online spaces are. Which is why I generally like fandom topics, because I feel like there could be a lot of discussion around, like, how do we make a fandom more welcoming? Like, what is the sociology of this? You know what I mean? I feel like that's cool. Like, placing yourself on a more important pedestal is just, like, it reeks. Because, like, it's nice to be confident, but you can't put that on other people. That's just not their problem. You can't make it, like, a problem. You know what I mean? Alright. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, but I will be right back to respond to that message. Okay, I am back. Okay. And I think it doesn't help when that self-importance is so broad upon in places like America. Yeah, I was going to mention that before I went pee. But yeah, I think like, hi, Casabas, how are you? Um but I think that's a really good point because American individualism, even if you're not in America, I feel like kind of stains people. I'm not like trying to say, oh, good, that's really good. Yeah. We're just talking about like fandom, American individualism, and honestly, that could be a good video. Fandom and American individualism. If I was not so tender-hearted, I would do that. Talking about like really how people see them as genuinely so important. When like I believe everyone is really important. I really do. But nobody is like more important than other people, I guess. Um and I feel like sometimes in fandom people don't believe that. Or at least they say that in their actions. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Especially like what comes to mind is like academia, I guess. Because in I'm in college. I'm a full-time college student and it's so easy to like start thinking for my peers and stuff, well, I'm more intellectual than other people because I'm going to college. I'm an undergrad. Which is so funny. I'm an undergrad. But truly, some people do feel like that, and I feel like that's another like instance of American individualism of like I'm better than everyone who's uneducated. Or like didn't go to post-secondary education. If that makes sense. Also, I'm just rendering this bad boy up. Kara up. Sorry about that. Kara is not a boy. I really like this. I think, I haven't been, like, proud of my works in a while. So it's really nice to, like, be proud of a work, I guess. But yeah, I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving because, oh boy. I know there's a lot of issues with Thanksgiving, but I just wanted to like say I hope you had a good holiday. In a while, I always... Oh, thank you so much. That's really sweet. I didn't expect that. Yeah, I wasn't compliment fishing, I swear. That's really sweet though, thank you. I don't know, I just haven't been like, drawing in general much. I repost some of my art, but I feel like I've been drawing more for my videos, which is really cool. I genuinely love drawing for my videos, but, I feel like that's a little bit different from my, more painterly works. At least I categorize them differently. Which maybe I shouldn't, you know what I mean? I think, especially animating, I really like to animate my little sprites. Yeah. And if you look back on my actual backlog, if you guys didn't know, I was solely a channel that posted speed paints and stuff with little to no commentary, but I still think it was a really good start, you know what I mean? Because I basically asked in my community tab, hey, would you guys mind if I like became a video essay channel? And you guys, a couple people were like, oh sure, that sounds sick. And I was like, thank you, motivation. So that was really cool of you guys. I think I'm gonna do more yellow on this one. Okay. But yeah, I think generally, I do love art. It's just like a little bit hard when you're in like a rut, I think. Sorry, a message popped up. But I think art block is so real, but it's basically just burnout, like with regular illustration. And I think I found like another creative outlet within video making, you know what I mean? Because genuinely, it's really cool to like, here, let me dull down that color. It's really cool to like get writing out there because I'm not a writer. I'm in college, but I am not a writer. It's not, yeah, it's brutal. I think it's kind of hard with this one because the lighting is kind of weird. But I think I'm doing it right. I always do like these muted tones. I feel like they make the kind of like more brighter tones pop out, which is really nice. Oh, let me read. I do get what you're saying. For a while, I've been working on some videos and recently got around to finishing one and they're so different. Yeah, I completely agree. Go to channel. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I went to your channel. I'll check your stuff out. You have really good ideas. Yeah, I really like your attitude. But yeah, I feel like channel making videos is so much different than illustration, really, because it's a lot of writing rather. It's a bit of illustration, yes, but it's a lot more writing and editing, which is a different muscle entirely, in my opinion. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't worry. Yeah. I'm very silly. I'm gonna be honest. Like, after a while on stream, I'm just like, I'm a bit tired, lads. But I'm usually very silly. I'm thinking of streaming more like possibly in the morning during the break because I know people are like off of school and stuff. Because streaming in the morning just genuinely would be like more fruitful for me, I think, because I do like streaming. It's just like I'm kind of a sundowner, you feel me? But yeah, I think I may call it there. But thank you guys so much for coming. This was a lot of fun. Like, I had a great time. I'm just really tired. Yeah, most people work in the morning. That's what I'm saying. But thank you guys so much. This was genuinely such a fun stream. Ophi, no! Ophi missed it. Oh my god, you'll have to catch the the recording. I'm so sorry, Ophi. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming. It was really fun. No, Ophi. Thank you. Yes, be there on Saturday because I'm doing a... Thank you. Yeah, guys, you super sweet. But yeah, be there on Saturday because I'm doing a charity stream. I'm going to re-promote it on my channel. Thank you guys so much for coming again.